Hey guys, happy hump day. We are going to spend some time looking at some word problems today. We're going to look at 2 or 3 depending on the time. The first word problem that I have is right up here. It talks about Miss Conley. Miss Conley's a 6th grade math teacher. These are not true stories, by the way. Just want to throw that out there. So go ahead and take a minute to read the word problem to yourself, and then I'm going to go ahead and start reading it. So Miss Conley went to Walmart and paid $142.44 for 6 packs of toilet paper, because we know that's a big deal right now. So she bought 6 packs of toilet paper, and she paid $142.44 for it. Each pack cost the same amount. How much did 1 pack of toilet paper cost? So I'm going to do a couple things here. I'm going to go through, and I'm going to circle my numbers here. And I'm going to underline some words. I know that each pack costs the same amount. I know that $142.44 is how much she paid. And my question is asking me, how much did 1 pack of toilet paper cost? So I know that 6 packs cost $142.44, but I need to know how much 1 pack cost. So I've got to do some division here. Okay, if they each costed the same amount, there's some things here that I need to divide. So I'm going to use a couple different colors here to help break it up. $142.44 is going to be the dividend. So that's going to be the number that I put inside of my box here. So I'm going to go ahead and draw my box up. So I've got 142, my decimal point, 44. My 6 is going to be the dividend. So I'm going to put my 6 on the outside right here. And then I'm looking for my quotient. So we've got to do some division, and I'm going to do it with this purple-pink color so we can see it. First thing I need to ask myself, how many times can 6 go into 1? 0 times. Put my 0 up top. I get 1, I move it across. Next question, how many times can 6 go into 14? Well, 6, 12, can go in there 2 times. So that gives me 12. I subtract, I get 2. Move it up and over. Then I have 22. How many times can 6 go into 22? Let's think about that. 6, 12, 18, 24. 24 is too big. It can only go in there 3 times. So I'm going to put my 3 up top. 3 times 6 is 18. 22 minus 18, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. That's 4. Got to go up and over. And I see something I already forgot. I have got to take that decimal and move it straight up where it is. Whether you do that in the beginning of the problem or right now, either way it's okay as long as you do it. That is the most important part. Those decimals don't like to be in the house. They need to go to sit up on the roof. They like to look at the stars and the sun and the sky. So that decimal's got to be moved straight up there. Okay? Now, I can continue on by moving my 6 over. How many times can 6 go into 44? Let's see. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48. 48's too big, so I've got to go with 7. I know that 6 times 7 is 42. When I subtract, I get 2. Move that up and over. How many times can 6 go into 24? Can go in there 4 times. 6 times 4 is 24. I subtract, I get 0. So therefore, Miss Conley paid $23.74 for 1 pack of toilet paper. Okay? Now, next question. This question says, Chloe has 238 feet of fabric. She wants to make PPE material, so mask, for the local hospital. Each mask takes 1 4/10 feet of fabric. How many masks can she make? Well, in this problem, I've got 238 feet of fabric. Each mask takes 1 4 feet of fabric. So I want to know how many masks can she make? So I need to take the 238 feet that I have, and I need to see how many 1 4/10 I can take out. So that means that this time I'm going to be setting up my box like this. 238 is going to go on the inside, and 1 4/10 is going to be going on the outside. Now, when we have a decimal on the outside of our division house, it can't happen. We don't like decimals on the outside of our division house. We need to be able to kick that decimal out and make it a whole number like we did when we were multiplying. So I've got to take this decimal here, and I've got to kick it out one time to the right so I can make that a 14. So now I have the number 14 right here. Okay? Now, because I took that decimal out one time, I need to take the decimal in this problem out one time. And you look at this problem and you're like, but Miss Davis, I don't see a decimal. Well, we learned that there's an invisible decimal at the end of every whole number. So there is technically a decimal that's right here. Okay? I still need to kick it out one time though. So I'm going to go ahead and move it out one time. Now, I have this like blank there. What digit do we think is going to go in the blank? So yeah, I've got to add a 0 here. So I'm going to put a 0 right here. We know that's our placeholder for everything. And I'm still going to use it to divide. Okay, so now I'm going to try to set up my box the best way that I can here. And I know that I can go ahead and move that decimal up right there if I need it. Alright? So, with my purple, I'm going to go ahead and start dividing. Remember, this is 14 now. Okay? So, can 14 go into 2? No. 0, subtract to get 2, move it straight across. Can 14 go into 23? Yes. So I know that 14 times 1 is 14. I know that 14 times 2 is 28. 28 is going to be too big, so it can only go in there one time, and I've got to subtract. So when I subtract here, I'm going to get 9. All right? Move the 9 up and over. How many times can 14 go into 98? I have no idea. So I've got to do some math. So I know 14 times 2 is 28. Let's see what 14 times 3 is. 3, 4. So 14 times 3 is 42. So then let's see what 14 times 4 is. So 14 times 4, 16. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 1 is 5. So 14 times 4 equals 56. All right. I can still get closer though, so I need to see 14 times 5. 14 times 5, let's see, 5 times 4 is 20, 0 down, 2 up. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 2 is 7. So 14 times 5 is 70, getting closer. 14 times 6, well, if I add 70 plus 14, I'm going to get 84. Almost made a mistake on that one. So then one more, let's see, 14 times 7. I'm going to have to work that one out because I don't know it. 28, carry my 2 up. 7 times 1 is 7, plus 2 is 9. Oh, okay, so 14 times 7 is 98. So 14 can go into 98 7 times. So 7 times 14 is 98. I get 0. I still have to divide with that 0 because it's there. So I've got to move that 0 over. It's going to be an easy problem though. How many times can 14 go into 0? Well, it can go in there 0 times. I subtract and I get 0. So Chloe could make 170 masks using the 238 feet of fabric that she had. All right, we'll do one more. So I'm going to flip this over. so this one says, at a farmer's market, Kenny picks 4 cantaloupes that weigh a total of 27 52/100 pounds. What is the weight of 1 cantaloupe? I know that 4 cantaloupes, 4C, equal 27 52/100 pounds. I want to know what 1C equals. So, I've got to set up a division problem again. Uh-oh, drop my marker. So, I'm going to go ahead and make my box out. And I know that I've got to divide the pounds by how many I have, which is 4. So, I'm going to set up my box. I've got my 2, my 7, my decimal, my 5, and my 2. I'm going to have my 4 that goes on the outside, and this time I'm going to divide in orange because we're talking about cantaloupes, and cantaloupes could be orange. So I'm going to move my decimal up there, and then I need to ask myself first, how many times can 4 go into 2? 0. Subtract, move that 2 up and over. How many times can 4 go into 27? 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28. Well, 28's too big, so it can go in there 6 times because I know that's 24. I subtract and get 3, and then I have how many times can 4 go into 35? Well, if I'm correct, I think 4 times 8 is 32. So it's going to be 8 times. I'm going to subtract 32, carry it up and over. And then again, how many times can 4 go into 32? We just answered that with 8. So I subtract and I get 0. Therefore, 1 cantaloupe weighed 6 pounds and 88/100 ounces, which is a pretty big cantaloupe. Okay? As always, if you guys have any questions, please don't forget to reach out, ask your teacher after your live lessons and all of those things, and let us know.